welcome back. This is part 2 of installing your replacement part for your test analyzer for the chromatolyzer. So we're going to pick up where we left off before when we've just taken out the test analyzer. They come in a nice red bubble bag. Do not cut this open with any type of knife. There is the silicone tubing in there, and if it is cut open you can damage those, or you can actually cut through wires. So remove this one now. Now, as I said in the previous video, that these do come with your reagent lines. As I said, it's mainly if you think there's something else in there, sand, or if it's actually blocked up, you can replace them with these. However, for our one, it was clear. So we're going to remove this tubing, once again with the pliers, as we won't actually need it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is reconnect our reagent tubing from our actual compartment. As I said, we actually need to note which pin actually connects to what reagent. It goes from left to right, pH, DPD1, DPD2. Get our tubing and you follow it through. This one here is our pH. Push that one back on. Our next line is DPD1. Our final line is DPD3. At this stage, we're going to take our light adhesive, in our case will be nail polish, and we're just going to put a small dab on the actual sensor pins, just to seal that tube on there, to stop people when changing reagents from actually disconnecting these tubings by accident. We're going to install the test analyzer, making sure that none of our cables, whether it be our water and waste cables or our reagent tubing, is crushed by the main SV circuit board on the top of this machine. If they do get crushed, you're going to get errors once you get to the testing phase. So we're going to install one screw to hold this assembly on while we work on the other fixtures. While working on the bench, this step isn't completely necessary. If working on the field where this is actually hanging, it makes things a lot easier. So on our water inlet and our water waste fixtures, we're going to have the two securing nuts, which need to be removed first. Both water inlet and water waste. As you can see, they both look completely different from each other, mainly just so we can't mix them up. So now, one at a time, we're going to feed these through the bottom of our chromatolyzer, through the same hole that we took them out from before, and feed them through. Now, it does take a little bit of time to get them lined up correctly. By looking through the hole, you can generally see the fixture, and using your long nose pliers, you can grab it and pull it through. Once it's pulled through, which in this case is the waste water outlet, so we've matched it up with the sticker, we're going to secure it first with one nut, then a second locking nut. Make sure it doesn't move around later. Once again, we're going to do the same thing with the water inlet, of feeding it through the hole in the bottom of the compartment, feeding it through using the tubing. Once again, once you've got it in sight, you can use the pliers to pull it up and through. Once again, securing it with one nut first, a second. So once that one's in, we can now secure the test analyzer with the 4 more screws. Once again, we've already got one at the top, so we put the second at the top. And then the 3 screws that secure the bottom of the assembly. These ones here can be a bit tricky to get the drill into. Because of where the location of the hole is. Now these don't have to be overly tight, they just need to be done up to the point where they grab, and that's enough. So, once we've got our screws installed, both at the top and then at the bottom, we're going to reconnect our cabling. First we'll start with our stepper motor cable. These can only plug in one way, so you can't actually get that one wrong. If it doesn't fit the first time, go around the other way and it'll fit in. Now our solenoid wires are numbered as they were before. They just need to go on the correct numbering. As they were before. Now we need to make sure that these don't come loose when we're reconnecting things, so we're going to use our light adhesive. In our case, we use a nail polish. Just a small dab on there to hold it, and on all the other cables that we've removed. So, a small dab on the side of the IOB cable, and then a small bit on the front of the stepper motor one to hold those 2 fixtures together. Once that's done, we can pull our reagent tubing back through into its compartment. Once it's through this stage, we can reconnect our reagents. For the time being, we're going to leave the front panel off, as we're going to need access to the circuit board in the next step, which is the calibration of this unit. Because we've changed the Newtonium, the calibration of the circuit board to the Newtonium will be slightly different and will need to be adjusted. So that concludes this stage of the actual reassembly of this unit. We've taken out the old Newtonium, which is the test analyzer assembly, and we've replaced it with a new one. And in the next step, we're going to go through the actual calibration procedure.